what your
license and registration and get back in the car.
Can you tell
414 direction of trouble?
what?
414, I have her stopped more than enough chances. And then you decided to flee and elude a police officer. That is a felony charge. I told you you could not leave and you left anyways.
On September 1st, 2023, this Karen caused major disruption near a school zone where an officer was managing traffic. The officer had already pulled over a few vehicles when she began honking her horn repeatedly. Her horn blasts were loud enough to distract the officer in the middle of a traffic stop. She had stopped in the middle of the road trying to pick up children, even though she was not allowed to do that in that location.
We were in line, sir.
But you still stopped in the middle of the road to pick up cars. You're not allowed to do that. License and registration. Oh, you have a driver's license, right? You know, you should know by taking a driver's license test that you cannot stop in the middle of the road.
Ana Quintana, first grade, Ana Quintana.
The registration.
If you do it, everybody else starts doing it, and then this is completely...
Everybody start getting in front of me.
If you do it, I have to let everybody else do it. And when everybody else does it, then there's no moving traffic. There's a reason why there's a dismissal. That's why you're supposed to go into school and pick up your kids. There's a reason for that.
Things only grew worse when more parents started doing the same thing after seeing her behavior. What began as one car stopping quickly turned into a chain of cars blocking the road. The officer attempted to manage this, but every moment lost added to the traffic chaos. The woman still refused to produce her license and registration. While the officer was issuing tickets to other violators, the woman decided to flee the scene. She sped off without warning, ignoring the officer's commands and breaking multiple traffic rules. She did not give any clear name, only saying it was on the ticket. She made an excuse that her daughter wasn't there yet.
What's happening? I'm not picking up. I'm just a guest.
So you're gonna honk the horn at me while I'm working? Give me your license and registration. Ma'am, get out of there. You cannot park there.
At one point, an officer was focused on issuing a ticket to a couple. He was parked at a busy intersection, already dealing with paperwork, when the same woman from the earlier incident parked illegally and blocked part of the street. Instead of waiting or asking properly, she began honking her horn again. Her horn was loud and disruptive. The officer was clearly distracted by her actions, but tried to stay focused on the couple he was helping.
On the ticket.
My daughter's a sergeant.
Okay, you need to go. I'm not talking to anybody right now. I need your license and registration. Excuse me, you're fleeing and eluding. Okay, go, flee and elude. 414, I have a car fleeing from me.
Yes, sir. 414, 3000 block of Southeast 9th Street.
Karen was asked to move or provide her license and registration, but instead of doing either, she decided to flee once again. This time, her behavior was more extreme. She didn't care about the consequences or the presence of officers on site. She drove away, ignoring repeated commands. By now, the officer had to choose between finishing the ticket or chasing after someone breaking the law in real time. Her decision to flee during an ongoing traffic enforcement event increased her legal problems. Fleeing from police during an active stop is classified as eluding, which can be a felony depending on state law. Not only did she ignore orders, but she also put others at risk by speeding through a zone already full of cars, children, and parents. The officer recorded the attempt to stop her, but she had already made it clear she wouldn't cooperate. Even though she said her name was on the earlier ticket, that was not enough. She failed to follow basic procedures, such as showing ID or staying on the scene.
License and registration.
Tell me what your
license and registration and get back in the car.
Can you tell
414 direction of trouble?
what?
414, I have her stopped. She exited the vehicle. She is not listening to lawful instructions. Get back inside the vehicle. Because you're gonna get yourself arrested.
For what?
By not following lawful orders.
What is the problem?
We're gonna be at the intersection of North Canal and Park and Commerce. License and registration, please. I'm not gonna ask you again. If I ask you again, you're gonna be in the back of my car. Ma'am, put your hands on your car. Put your hands on your car.
South Main Street and Park and Commerce Boulevard. Units making 315 on 414 Park and Commerce and South Main Street.
Luckily, the Karen was pulled over after fleeing and was told to stay inside her vehicle. Instead of doing so, she stepped out and ignored several direct orders from the officer. Her refusal to follow those lawful orders was a serious issue. She was told multiple times to get back in the car, but she didn't listen. This time, it happened at the intersection of North Canal and Park and Commerce. The officer clearly stated she was being given several chances to comply. She didn't give her license, didn't register the vehicle properly, and kept making excuses. After walking away once, she was caught again, but even then, she refused to cooperate. Because of her continued disobedience, the officer had no choice but to detain her.
Officer, that is a felony charge. I told you could not leave and you left anyways. That is fleeing and eluding. Get in the back of the car, please.
This time it was more serious. Fleeing from an officer after being stopped can lead to multiple charges. Not only did she flee once, she did it more than once. She also violated lawful commands. Her unwillingness to get back in her car after being told was yet another charge. When she was finally placed in the back of the police car, the officer confirmed she had refused every step of the way.
My license for you didn't stop me. I attempted to report you for questions. Don't talk to me.
Okay, then I'm not gonna
horrible person.
Can you take the car from her? And I need her ID.
You don't need anything from me. How do you arrest me because I stopped you trying to get your attention to ask you a question?
Your license in here, sweetie? Your license in
You
here?
don't have permission to go in my wallet. No.
Yeah, she's going to jail. What? Yeah? I don't know if she's the owner of the car. I haven't even been able to run inside.
I can't do this.
After checking, officers found that she was not the registered owner of the car, but she was driving it anyway. The officer attempted to speak with her calmly, but she wouldn't cooperate at all. She refused to answer basic questions and began shouting. She claimed she had stopped only to ask the officer something, but she never explained what that question was. Her attitude was defensive and aggressive at the same time. She didn't want to give her license and said the officer didn't have permission to check her wallet. The entire scene looked more confusing by the second. She said she was trying to register her daughter at school, but that had nothing to do with the illegal stop or why she refused to show ID. Her behavior gave the officer every reason to suspect something deeper was wrong. That's when it was discovered her driver's license was not valid.
Now I know why she didn't want to give me her license. It's not valid.
You got out early?
Yeah, the whole school.
Huh?
Now I know why she didn't want to stop. Her license is not valid.
Once the officer ran a quick background check, it became clear she had no business operating that car. Her license had either expired or been suspended. It explained why she didn't want to provide it from the beginning. She was trying to avoid being caught, and when it finally happened, she acted like she didn't understand what was going on.
In order for me to tow the car, I have to do an inventory of the vehicle. That's why I'm in your car. I know you don't want me in your car, but I have to do my job.
It's not my car.
Whosever car it is, you have possession of it, it's being towed, and I have to inventory it, just to give you a heads up. I wanted her to put that on camera. Thank you.
Sir.
Kids, puzzles, and clothing.
Let me get more tissue for your nose, okay?
Oh.
I gotta close the door, right?
Like her. This time.
At this point, the Karen mental state was highly unstable. Her actions were inconsistent. She switched from crying to yelling without warning. The officer remained calm and professional while informing her that her car was being towed. He explained that, by law, he had to do an inventory of the car before towing it. She kept repeating that the car wasn't hers, even though she was driving it and had personal items inside. That included a cell phone, a CD case, an umbrella, and several children's puzzles and clothes. Even when the officer tried to be respectful and explain everything clearly, she didn't want to hear it. She kept saying things that made no sense. The officers had to work as a team, one handling her, one searching the vehicle, and the third dealing with the paperwork.
At this time,
I didn't know that my license was suspended. I had just paid to get it renewed because Because I knew
I'm giving you the information so you can have it for your benefit. You're getting arrested for the driving without license. I think this could have been avoided if you would have just listened to the police officer from the beginning and not honking your horn. You know.
He didn't pull me over.
Okay, listen to me.
I drove up to him and honked to give his attention.
He can't pull you over if his car is over.
I didn't know you can't honk at an officer.
Listen to me, okay? I just want to give you a heads up of what's going on. You're getting arrested for the DWLS, and a copy of that arrest warrant will be provided to you, okay? You will know everything about what happened today as far as the arrest, according to his A form that he writes.
Like, he's not going to talk to me?
He may not have to talk to you. I'm telling you right now what you're being arrested for.
I know he doesn't have to.
Is there anything that you wish to ask him? I'll probably answer it for you.
If he can change his mind.
It's not gonna happen, ma'am. I can tell you right now. You're being arrested for the DWLS.
The officer finally made it clear that she was being arrested for driving while license suspended. She claimed she had recently paid to renew it, but no record showed that. She said she didn't know it was still suspended, but that excuse couldn't undo the fact that she was caught driving illegally. The officer tried to give her a clear picture of what was happening. He told her that a full arrest report would be written and given to her. Every detail would be documented. She didn't want to believe it. She still hoped the officer might change his mind. She had misused her horn multiple times, fled from traffic stops twice, failed to obey lawful orders, and drove with a suspended license. On top of that, she created dangerous traffic situations near schools, which put children and other drivers at risk. Her final bond was set at $5,000. All of it could have been avoided if she had simply followed the rules from the start. But now, if you think that's embarrassing, then I am sure you haven't met this guy at your right-hand side.